My name's Carlos Montoya. Uh, I'm from Paterson, actually born and raised in Paterson. I am now the chef here at the Hamilton Mercado, here inside the R Factory. It's a project that we started here a couple months ago, and really the intent with it was, or the purpose was to do something positive for the community here inside the R Factory with all the creatives and all the artists and all the people that are coming through here. And it's really grown. I think the community's really taken to us, and what I'm finding is an enormous amount of outpouring and support for what we're trying to do here. The design and the concept and really the idea for the restaurant, it came from being here every day. I think when you think back on the history of this building, you think of this corridor, you think back to the silk factories and what this was, and the amount of labor and the people that came here chasing that American dream, this being where this place is located. Um, Walking through these buildings or walking through these halls and walking through these factory floors, it really drew inspiration. And I always looked at the cafe as like a little diamond, and to me, it really just gave me the platform or the stage to take 30 years of restaurant and hospitality experience on a global level, be able to bring food the way we've learned it, and introduce culture and diversity, and be able to share it with people here. The cafe here, it's really a surprise to people, and I enjoy that. I enjoy surprising people because they walk in and they see a cafe, and to me, what I really see is it's a kitchen, and it's a kitchen that what we try to bring every day is what we find in food, and what we just cook what we like, and we like to share our food. I think that within the cafe, what we're trying to do, or within the R Factory, the first goal was to do something positive for the community, and now it's grown into where we can cater and we can actually get involved with events on a big scale or on a small scale. So it started as a small project, and it's grown into this really big, like, full service restaurant here. The reaction that I always see from guests here when they come in, they don't know what to expect. They really don't know what to expect, and I like to think it's a little box of surprises, and it's something that us from the inside, we're really controlling everything that a guest is seeing, smelling, tasting. Like the whole experience is really what we focus on. The food is just there as a vessel, but we look at this as a stage, and every night it's a production for us, and every night we're really looking to have people come in and be blown away by the quality of food that we're putting up, or the dishes that they're getting, or just being able to find a place here in Paterson that is something that is new, and something that's fresh, and something that really pulls to a lot of different people and diversities and cultures. It's pretty amazing. When it comes to challenges, as a young entrepreneur, and when you look at a business, every day I think you're faced with challenges, but I think it's just really focusing on what is it that you can control, and just pushing through, and just taking that one step forward, as opposed to overanalyzing it and then just drowning in it. My team and I, we just focus on keeping the flavors clean, and letting the dishes stand on their own. So there isn't too much manipulation. Like, we don't really we don't use anything processed. We don't use anything out of can. Everything that we make is made here from scratch. And I think it translates. When people receive that dish, it definitely translates, and it does make us different from the majority of places around us. The name of the restaurant, really pays tribute to the building. It pays tribute to the history of Paterson, to the history of Paterson in this country. Um, it pays tribute to Paterson's an immigrant city. There's 57 different cultures right now within Paterson. Mercado, throughout South America, or throughout Europe, there's open markets, and people go buy their produce at these marketplaces. They don't go to a supermarket. Um, what I see Patterson as is this big mercado. There's all these cultures, there's all this diversity here right now, um, but and there's a bright future. So that's where the mercado's coming from. The Hamilton, it refers to Alexander Hamilton, in the history here, going back to, mid 1800s, where they saw a vision here, and they built these amazing buildings, that are still here. What started as, how do we do something positive for the immediate community, the artist community that's here, has grown into, now catering, and small events and big events. But when I say it's personal, I went to school 3 blocks from here for grade school, at St. John's Cathedral, which is, maybe 4 blocks from here. I was the altar boy there, so there is definitely a history here for me. And to be able to come back to a city that, I'm so connected to, and be able to say, you know what, let's launch a restaurant here, and let's really do something that's going to be, positive for the community, but at the same caliber as we could do in any other major city. I think it's much more fulfilling, and it's much more rewarding for us to be able to, have this stage and this platform to be able to come to this city and say, we want to try to do something for you guys, and offer you something different. Why the Art Factory, and why here? And I look at the Falls, and you look at what's happening here. You look at this corridor, and I think that it should be designated a National Historic Area, right? Because it's unlike anywhere else in this country. But then you look at the Falls, and you look at how they've turned that into a national park, and you look at the amount of tourists that are coming in. In observing this place, last summer I would go to the Falls, and I would just see the buses coming in, and I would see the buses going out, the buses coming in and the buses going out. And what I felt through experience was, if you go to any other national park in the country, those little towns around them, they're boom towns. There's Hermes, there's Louis Vuitton. Like, they're communities that are benefiting from being in such close proximity to a national park. I think that setting something here was really to try to give more of an attraction to people that were coming in here, because we're just letting the money come into the community, and then the money's just leaving the community. So as a community, we're not benefiting from it. And I think that if we gave that awareness, then you would see more small business come around this area that, is just so dynamic, and really add more to bring more of that tourist dollar into the neighborhood. When you look at the future of the Art Factory, I think that there is going to be more of an awareness for the treasure that this is, as a facility in itself. But then when people really start to come in and connect with the artists and the creatives and the people that are doing things here, it just makes the space much, much more dynamic, and it becomes, I see it transforming from a venue to an attraction, where people would want to come back into the city and say, you know what, I need to go and see this space, and that's what I would like to see happen here at the Art Factory. When you come as a guest, you're sitting inside with us, and we want to share that space with you. We want it to be a transformative experience. We want you to sit close to the oven. We want you to sit close to the dishwashing station. Why? You've never experienced that. And I think, going back to that reference when I said the kitchen's beautiful, and the work that people do there there's passion, there's drive, there's discipline, but it comes at the value of time, and there has to be some sort of an acknowledgement to those people, so that they feel that their time is well invested, and they're feeling something that is rewarding. And that's where we want to make that connection with people. So when you come in and dine with us, you're sitting in our kitchen. You're sitting, right next to our dish station. But it's intentionally built that way, and it's intentionally designed that way to change your dining experience, from what you normally know, where you're away from the kitchen. There's a disconnect, and with what we are looking to do, we want to have you as close as possible. We want you to be in our home. Like I tell everybody, mi casa es tu casa.
My name is David. The name of my company is Visionary Artists, and I've been a professional photographer for over 25 years, starting with film and then going into digital photography. I'm a designer as well and a visionary. What I see on all my affairs and events is basically the image before I document it on digital files. I also design every album that I sell, and my partner does cinematic video. So together we're a team, and we're just basically going to tell you your love story the whole day. And you know, to us, it's not work. After doing it for so long, it's just we love what we do, and it's enjoyment. I started in the field basically in a community college, Mercer County College, in graphics and design, and got a degree in that. And I really wasn't so much of a book type of person. I wanted to just really get out in the field. So I became basically a lighting assistant for a studio and became a slave and worked my way up and then opened up my own studio. I've had brick and mortar studios. I've had 2 locations in the Marlboro-Manalapan area. Unfortunately now with the economy, you know, most of the photographers are in their own house or they try to work out of, you know, a brick and mortar establishment. The Art Factory has given me an amazing platform to show my talent. There's so much opportunities here. There's so much lighting, backgrounds. It's just an amazing place, you know, which I would thank David and Donato for a great opportunity at the Art Factory. I do go to other venues. I photograph the tri-state area. I photograph Philadelphia. I've been flown to California. I do Manhattan, New York, the High Line, Central Park, the tri-state area basically. You know, wherever the car will travel in roughly about 2 to 3 hours. The styles I see at weddings are basically almost anything goes. People now are into having themes on their wedding, especially the Art Factory. This place is more eclectic and very artsy, so it brings a little bit of the untraditional styles going on. You know, as far as fire pits and pizza trucks at your wedding and, you know, stuff like that, which most places don't do. Most catering halls are chandeliers and carpet. The Art Factory is completely different. It's more of an experience. You become a member here. You have use of the whole facilities, from wood shop to metal shops to making a music video if you want. It's just an incredible place. My photo editing style is basically what my bride and groom want. I like a little bit of the dark and moody. I can do light and bright. I can do a little bit in the medium. It's just all post-editing. Once you document your image, and I shoot in a raw format, which is about a 15 to 20 meg file, and from that, it's kind of a neutral file. I can basically design the file any way I want. My working style is 100% go. I go all in. I give my clients 200% on their wedding day. I love to get everything done an hour before their ceremony so that each of them can go into their separate bridal suites and just take a deep breath, maybe have a little bit of a drink, some hydration, a couple of crackers, think about what's ahead of them. Most of the brides, especially at the Art Factory, all see each other and do the first look, which is so important because it's hours of photography done before the ceremony. They don't have to miss anything. We don't have to pull them out of their cocktail hour. We don't have to hear them say, oh my gosh, I missed my cocktail hour. They wind up not liking their photographer. You know, so the first look has just been enormous in the photography industry. All my wedding packages include an engagement session, which is typically done here at the Art Factory. It could be done at the Great Patterson Falls down the road, which is magnificent. All the packages include all the high-res digital images for the bride and groom to make their own save the dates. As far as the wedding day goes, it's 2 photographers the entire day. We don't do an overtime or an hourly rate. We do the whole day, whatever's necessary. We do a 100-picture 12 by 12 album for the bride and groom. Everything is retouched, designed perfectly. They get to email and view the whole layout and okay it before it goes to print. And then the book comes back and the book is delivered to the bride and groom. A big wall canvas is included in the package, wall art, or I do metal tile work, which is really unique and something different. And you know, thank God bride and grooms are still doing albums. In my opinion, it's a beautiful legacy to pass on. It captures that whole day, and it's made to look back years to come. This building, group of building, or I should say campus, I believe there's 18 buildings. It's just amazing between the 18-foot windows, the beautiful light coming in, that's basically lighting me right now on our interview. I'm big into natural light photography, where I don't have to use a ton of artificial lighting. It's more flattering on people. There's a reason why they film movies here. There's a reason why HBO is here, NBC is here, West Side Story was filmed here, the Equalizer show was filmed here. It's like Hollywood East, and that's kind of the nickname of this place. You know, it's 12 miles from Manhattan. They get a lot of filming. The owner, it's been in the family, the owner's family for years. He used to play in the buildings here, and now he's having weddings. He was the first wedding, him and Donata, in the Art Factory. So that explains it. It used to be a rope factory, and it used to be connected to the water. Supposedly that's what I heard from the Great Falls right up the block. So very cool spot, you have to see it. When I come here, I know I'm working with everybody that I'm friends with, and it's a big team. If I need something, everybody who works here will help each other out. I can't emphasize that enough. It's kind of like one-stop shopping at the Art Factory. You have all your vendors here you need for your wedding. You have all your caterers here. We all help each other out for the bride and grooms to have the experience of their lifetime.
My name is Ed Rode, and I'm a custom woodworker. I design and build bespoke furniture here at the Art Factory. I've been a woodworker my whole life. I mean, literally forever, but only professionally for about 12 years. I had a studio in Fairfield, and I came to a disagreement with my landlord, and I had been working all by myself for a long time, well, 8 years or something like that, and I wanted to work with other people that, you know, did the same sort of thing that I did, because I was looking for the collegial atmosphere, and the Art Factory sounded good, and sure enough, it fits the bill. I was a floor broker on the New York Stock Exchange for 25 years, and I made over-the-counter markets upstairs for 10 years prior to that. So that's a long career on Wall Street. And the business evolved into something that simply wasn't fun anymore. A couple cataclysmic things happened in my life, and I decided God wants us to get out of bed in the morning and have fun. So I left Wall Street, and I said, I want to do what I love to do, and that's build furniture. Setting up shop is a big deal. And I had a lot of space earlier, and hopefully we're in the midst of moving shop now, and hopefully I'll get this one squared away too. I'm just in the midst of it at the moment. And I just like the vibes of the building. I mean, I like the history of it. You know, the fact that it was hydro powered forever and ever. I mean, you know, canals were routed out of the Passaic River into a big long slit that returned and back to the river, and all along there were factories driven by power. And I mean, even the history of the building really fascinates me. I like how the structure of the building was created. I mean, these old artisans that did the work building this place, I have a big respect for them. They were very bright. They didn't have today's technical tools. I mean, there are some hand-hewn beams in this place, for God's sake. The support structures are cables as big as your wrist. Somebody attached that with a wrench. You know, I mean, that's not hydraulics. That's just real genuine ingenuity. People enjoy coming here for a visit because it's fascinating. It has a lot of background, and they're a little bit oohs and awed, you know, rather than walking into a totally industrial lot in a strip mall sort of factory space. This is a lot more fun to come and visit. And I've had people come here and just like walk around for a few minutes looking up and all over the place, and then we start talking, you know, how can I help you? What do you need? And I would like this, and then we just sit down with a sketch pad and start doodling until we come up with a cohesive design. And then it's up to me to incorporate structural integrity into that design to make sure it not only looks beautiful, but works. When I was a little boy, I built things, toys and things with my father in the cellar in Brooklyn. So I'm very intimate with wood. It doesn't intimidate me, it doesn't scare me. Tools don't scare me. And even I have 2 grown daughters, and they've worked with me in the shop, and even, designing things. I mean, we'd take out a big, very large sketch pad, a graph pad, and start doodling. And one of them, I made a bed, and another one, just a year ago, I went to Phoenix, Arizona, where one of them lives, and we built, and she helped, and her husband, but we built a 12-foot wide by 11-foot high bookcase wall in their new home. So I'm very happy that my kids are not afraid to do some woodworking as well. When I was 40 years old, I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder, and it wasn't a bad thing. It was like the greatest news I ever had almost, because it told me I wasn't nuts. I just think a little bit differently from other people. So I like actually having more than one project going on at a time. I'm good at juggling balls. I mean, that's what made me a great floor broker, actually. I could do 12 things at once. I hope that the Art Factory never loses sight that, as its name implies, it should be a haven for artistic-minded people that not just think artistically, but actually do. They make artistic ventures.
I think we still need keep our focus mainly on the experience. So you and your guests, all the tourists, visitors, members, they get to be part of the process. As much as possible, we want everyone to be able to experience history and get inspired. The beating heart of the Art Factory, the engine room. Back in the days, the water from the raceway will come into this space, spin this giant turbine, and create power for the entire facility. Now used as an incredible, inspiring backdrop for major bands, major artists like Alice in Chains. Incredible backdrop for cocktail party or after party, where after very elegant celebrations of your for your ceremony with nice, neat backdrop and ceremonial arch, we can transition your guests to something unexpected and open another chapter, something that they haven't seen before. The Art Factory has so much to offer. Filmmakers call this great production value, a combination of raw, unfinished spaces with rock walls, incredible texture, like this metal door behind me offers so many cool different backdrops for either your event or your film. The entire process, production process, is focused on recycling, repurposing of many different elements, found objects, historical elements. Spools from wire spools are being repurposed for round tables, old wood for beautiful large barn tables we have now for our reception table. We use for our reception tables. Backdrops. We repurpose and recreate all different elements to keep the same theme, the same feel throughout the whole space. Pieces like this, you come to the Art Factory and you might discover for the first time that you have a talent. You have talent and you want to explore. This is the place. This is the place to build. This is the place to try things like you've never tried before. Oh, maybe I would like to build a boat, or maybe I would like to create a table, or maybe I want to refinish some vintage furniture, or maybe I want to take a culinary class with our chef, or maybe I have another talent. This is the place, a factory. The Art Factory is about self-creation too, so you get to discover your inner talent. Adaptive reuse process has been such a great journey. Now we've learned how to condense all our experiences and share those experiences with you when you are planning your event. So from something like a blank canvas, like empty room like this, we help you to bring all different elements to create your vision, from tables to tablescapes, chairs, backdrops, our team does incredible job to transform something that you envision, starting from your vision, from your concept, into fruition, into full, beautiful gala experience, an event. We are super sensitive to history of the space. Each space carries a big room. We are really personally attached to each space. We study it. We study each space has different personality, so we really roll with the space personality, and we keep certain areas exposed for it's like a birthmark. This furniture was constructed to reflect the authenticity of historic buildings. The outdoor area is absolutely incredible. We have cigar bar rollers, s'more bars on this deck. Not to mention, behind us, we have the view of National Park with short walk, only like 5 minutes walk to the falls, which is second largest to Niagara Falls. Our trolleys takes guests to Great Falls for picture opportunities. It's just an incredible backdrop for any event with Edison light bulbs, this garden, open space feel, authentic, rustic, super unique. So Steven Spielberg and his production crew, they shot here West Side Story here. The prep time took them a week or two to distress and expose even more authenticity. His artists were painting stains. All those stains you are looking at are painted to distress the wall even a little bit more, to match the to create a perfect backdrop for West Side Story. So the Art Factory is a perfect backdrop for any movie, but specifically for West Side Story was enhanced via an incredible work by Spielberg's artists.